Life is a four-letter word that is complicated enough that no one will ever decode its true meaning. Whether you're born into a wealthy family or a poor one, your life will be full of ups and downs. The goal in life is to minimize the downs and live a happy and inspiring existence. Let's all live a life of integrity. Do the right thing at all times. Hello and thanks for joining us on another episode of The Eagle. I am Aisha Muhammad.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
On our lineup today, Nigerian Senate desires to see a new EFCC. EFCC seeks royal father's support in anti-graft war. A chat with a professor of psychology on youth engagement in cybercrime. This and more will come your way right after this timeout. Please stay tuned. The Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes has expressed the desire of the Upper Legislative Assembly to see a reformed and rebranded EFCC in its fight against corruption, economic and financial crimes in the country. This was conveyed by the Chairman Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes, Senator Suleiman Abdulkwari, at the commencement of the 9th Senate Legislative Anti-Corruption Strategy Implementation Session at the National Assembly Complex. Aisha Gambari has the details of the story.
The chairman would disclose that the 9th Senate is determined to see that there's a constant flow of information and engagement between the Senate and the EFCC. He also advised that 90% of investigation should be done before any arrest is effected.
This briefing represents the kick-off exercise of the 9th Senate Legislative Anti-Corruption Strategy Implementation, and will be focusing on acquiring first-hand institutional information that will assist this committee achieve three focal points of the legislative anti-corruption agenda. First, we want to place ourselves in a better position of enacting robust legislation that will adequately support the activities of the anti-corruption agencies and the law enforcement agencies as well that are saddled with the task of preventing corruption, enforcement, as well as providing support for the prosecutorial arm of the entire criminal justice administration. Two, to discharge the constitutional duties of carrying out vigilance oversight using our templates of assessing the performances of the anti-corruption agencies and other law enforcement agencies such as yours, and ensuring that they remain open to public scrutiny. And thirdly, to be able to expose grafts and ensure that due processes are carried out in resolving the issues that are brought before us in a timeous manner. Consequently, I would also like to inform you that we are determined to ensure that a constant flow of information and engagement between us is sustained.
The deputy chairman of the committee, Senator Aliyu Wamako, a former Sokoto State governor, expressed concern on the Commission's lean budgetary allocation for legal fees, noting that there must be adequate provision for legal fees in the EFCC budget for effective prosecutorial activities.
All of us here know the cost of legal system in this country. So you cannot have the 200 million being region for the whole year for EFCC in executing our legal challenges in the court. This is money you pay for one senior advocate in Nigeria. Unless if you have some way of maybe asking lawyers to do things for you free of charge. Before you come for budget defense next week or so, please make sure that you have adequate provision for your legal fee in your budget, for God's sake.
Addressing the committee, acting chairman of the EFCC, Muhammad Umar Abba, noted that the commission has earned the confidence and trust of Nigerians because of its unblemished professional disposition. Umar said EFCC is doing remarkably well above all other law enforcement agencies in the country, and that is why the UNODC and the National Bureau of Statistics in the 2007 survey they conducted ranked EFCC as the most effective government agency in Nigeria. He disclosed that the commission has recorded 646 convictions and recovered over 11 billion naira in monetary assets this year, despite the restriction imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic.
The focus of this report is largely what has been accomplished since the beginning of the year. Interestingly, 2020 year is peculiar for the EFCC. The coronavirus pandemic and the virtual shutdown of the country from March till July altered the way we live and work. The protocols of dealing with the pandemic came with the restrictions that invariably affected the scale of the Commission's operations. However, through a combination of hard work and determination, we sustained operations and have a number of milestones to show for our efforts. These include high-profile investigations, prosecutions, and recovery of stolen assets.
Reacting to the Senator's inquiry on the state of seized vehicles by the Commission, Umar expressed pain at the deteriorating status of the assets in the custody of the EFCC, stating that the work is already in progress as the Attorney General of the Federation is coming up with a gazette on how to sort out all issues relating to seized assets. The EFCC boss also weighed in on the worry of the legislatures on the waning impact of the whistleblower policy of the federal government. He blamed the situation on mischief and misinformation by members of the public who turned it into a tool for settling personal scores. He, however, revealed that the policy was being fine-tuned by the Ministry of Finance to make it more efficient. Umar seized the occasion to acquaint the legislatures with the challenges confronting the agency and canvassed for the support of the committee in overcoming these challenges through appropriation. Other members of the Senate committee present at the session are Senator Michael Inaji, Senator Aliyu Abubakar, Senator Kola Balogun, Senator Abba Moru, Senator Abubakar Yusuf, and Senator Dauda Binos Yero.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I said na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out, we could fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out, we could kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money, send them obodo yibo. Children they suffer every day, better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh, women from every sector, make we fight corruption, we won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call, we no see. I said na cankerworm, oh, na cankerworm, oh.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Nigeria, now we all know.
The program is still The Eagle. Next on our lineup is a courtesy visit by the National Gallery of Art to the EFCC headquarters. Stay tuned.
The Director General of National Gallery of Art, Ibetan Evara, has requested that the EFCC assist his agency with an office complex from among the pool of seized properties by the Commission. Evara made the plea when he led the management team of the National Gallery of Art, NGA, to EFCC headquarters Abuja on a courtesy visit. He recalled that the NGA had, through a letter to the EFCC dated May 11, 2020, requested for an office complex that will enhance the smooth running of the affairs of the agency. He promised that if the request is granted, will be of immense benefit to visual artists, art scholars, studio artists and art administrators in the country and will transform the subsector to a major revenue earner for Nigeria.
We visited the EFCC chairman in response to a request that we had earlier made, requesting that one of the forfeited property should be given to the National Gallery of Arts for the purpose of having an edifice for the National Gallery.
Evara also commended the acting chairman of the EFCC, Muhammad Umar Abba, for the achievement recorded by the Commission in the anti-corruption fight, noting that the Commission has earned both local and international acclaim in this direction. Responding, the EFCC boss said there is the need for the two agencies to work hand in glove for the success of the federal government in the fight against corruption, being agencies of the same government.
We are ready to assist you. I'll ask you to liaise with the acting director also for future and his team so that they take you around to see some of these other properties that are finally forfeited and which are not encumbered and which have not been selected by any other government agency. So when you look at it now, anyone that you feel is suitable for the establishment of the National Art Gallery, then he will avail you with the procedure on how to go about it by writing to the presidency for approval, after which now we'll do the handing over process. So once more, the commission is very much ready to assist you in this regard.
Bas Abubakar Umar reporting for the Eagle.
Institutions are part of the social order of the society and they govern behavior and expectations of individuals, while at the same time they regulate business operators and ethics. With the importance of such institutions, this is the reason why the EFCC engages traditional institutions to help in spreading the anti-corruption messages. As in the next report, where the EFCC Kano zone went on a courtesy visit to the Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, seeking his support in the fight against corruption. Here are the details of the visit.
The head of the Kano zone of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Sanusi Aliyu Muhammad, has asked for the support of the Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, to enable the agency in his domain to achieve its mandate. The zonal head, who spoke during a courtesy visit to the palace of the Emir, said the commission knows that for it to win the war against corruption, all stakeholders must be involved, especially the traditional institutions. He stressed that as the royal father of the people of Kano and its surroundings, it was necessary to come to him and solicit his support and that of the entire Kano Emirate Council, and also to seek for his counsel and blessing for the successful execution of eradicating corruption. In his remark, Emir Bayero expresses gratitude for the visit and charged the zonal head and the entire management of the commission always put the fear of God in executing their jobs. He also acknowledged the good work the Commission has done and is still doing in the state and the country. While charging the EFCC to be upright, the royal father also urged the public to consider the Commission as theirs and to embrace it, as everyone has a stake in salvaging this country. Abbas Abubakar Umar reporting for the Eagle.
With the worrisome trend of youth's involvement in corruption, particularly cybercrime, the EFCC is not relenting in its efforts to see that such criminality is brought to its barest minimum, if not totally eradicated. This is evident in its engagement with youth and employment of various media, from music, interpersonal communication, organizing enlightenment program, and inauguration of zero-tolerance clubs in schools, all in the bid to catch them young and instill the spirit of integrity in their daily affairs. On the program today, the Eagle team went a little further to have a talk with a professor of psychology at Beijing University who gave us an insight on reasons why youth engage in crime and some suggestions on how it can be tackled. This report is compiled by Chinonso Alexander Eni and presented by Aisha Gambari. Enjoy.
The field of psychology has sought to explain human behavior, shedding light on some of the most damaging human habits, ranging from abuse, violence, and depression. Psychology tells us about cybercriminals and how their attacks work. It also tells us about the psychological levers they use in exploiting people who are vulnerable to their tricks. Besides being the common victims, youth are also the largest group engaging in cybercrime. Thus, perpetrators typically do it out of greed, wanting instant gratification. Many who have followed the development of the EFCC have attested to the fact that the agency has vigorously fought against cybercrime in our society. Unfortunately, the internet has affected the psychology of the society, specifically when it regards to the issue of cybercrime. Cybercrime, being one of the fastest growing areas of crime, has been exploited due to the speed and convenience that the internet offers. It is on these notes that the Eagle crew engaged Professor Akinyele Odebumi, a professor of psychology at the Base University, Jabi, Abuja, who gave an insight on the reasons why the youth commit this genre of crime. When asked on the psychological factor that pushes the youth towards crime, this is what he has to say.
Everything depends on your upbringing. If we think of upbringing, then we also think of individual's personality and individual's environment. Nature is what you say. The environment dictates what we are really. And if you are within an environment that is very honest, people and everything, the tendency that you'll be honest is there. But if you are within an environment of crazy, unfaithful, criminal-minded people, the tendency that you will copy it. And that's why they're saying, even in child development, when your child is being raised, we tell you to make sure that you are aware of the peer pressure. If the child is growing within a group of bad boys, he's going to have a tendency to want to be bad. But if you raise the kid in a way that you teach him morals and with everything that is supposed to be done right, the tendency that the child will do it right. Those who turn out to be bad by themselves, not because of the fact that they are really in need. And you find out that even the upbringing, like I'm talking about, the upbringing of some people is such that even though they are raised well, they copy other people, or their need becomes heavier than they can cope with. And then the present generation of kids, they are too much in a hurry. And they want to be able to run before they can even walk.
He also sheds light on the vulnerability of people towards cybercrime.
In cybercrime, people are responsible for their problems. Some people put too many details on, let's say, they're on
Social media.
Instagram, on social media, Instagram, Facebook. They put everything about themselves in it. So, the cyber criminal doesn't need anything or any help from anybody. You already provided it. So he will just use it and he will get what he wants. And you will find out that if people could expose themselves less through Instagram, Facebook, name it, You want to look good, you want people to admire you, but so what? Does that mean you want to sell yourself or you want to put yourself at risk? So they already gave all the information out. So people should put less information on their social media. And also, you find out that many of the people that are duped, they will ask you questions. Talk to them, find out. If they talk to them, somebody is duped now, and you say, no, it can never happen to me. Then the next 5 minutes, somebody else is duped.
Professor Odebumi further explained on a research conducted to explain why people are vulnerable to cyber criminals.
Most research is done on behavior, and they actually specialize on personality development. You find out that, like I said, people who have some personality disorders, they are meant to fall into those problems. But if you are moving with them and you don't have an idea of their problems, you are going to fall along with them. But if you are moving with them and you notice certain things wrong, like many brothers and sisters will tell on each other to their parents that, I've noticed my brother is doing this, so Daddy, please check him, or Mommy, please check him. Some people feel, no, I cannot sell my brother. It's my brother. You're already killing him by not checking him, because he has started and he will continue to grow.
This is his advice to parents who are the first role models to their children.
I think I like to say this to the parents. I'm a parent, and it disturbs me when I see some parents suffering when they shouldn't suffer. Don't hide the problem of your children. Speak them out. Find help. Seek help. And many parents don't even know anything about drugs. I was invited to a house to handle a case, and the guy was on drugs, and I said, I would like to see the room of the boy. And the mother said, no, his room will be dirty. I said, it's not the dirtiness I'm looking for. And when I got to the room, I was smelling marijuana. I said, your son is on marijuana. He said, no, it's his perfume. And she brought out the perfume, which the boy had been able to deceive the mother by putting some marijuana in the perfume and said, this is my new perfume. And the mother believed that was the perfume the boy was using. And I said, why are you lying to your mother? And he apologized. Luckily, the boy is now today a good lawyer and is doing well. And parents, please, don't feel ashamed of the problems of your children.
To the youths, he has this to say.
Now I have to address the youths. I think we have to accept the fact that we have a disturbed group, and they are the most affected negatively. So I would say, let each and every one of you focus on your life, on your ambition, on your schooling, on whatever people are doing. Don't be too fast to want to make money, because many of you will end up in jail. And those who don't end up in jail, many of you will end up dead. I've worked with so many people, especially criminals, because I've worked with prisons, and I've worked with psychiatric hospitals where we have so many people that are on drugs. And I think my passion is curing people who are having drug problems. But at the same time, I find out that whatever problem you have as a youth, try as much as possible and let your parents know about it. Seek help. There are some numbers that I'm sure EFCC will give out. Call them.
For the anti-graft agencies, Professor Odebumi advised for a rigorous enlightenment and stiffer laws.
The anti-corruption agencies should try as much as possible to be sincere. And whoever is in control should make sure he does not allow favoritism, nepotism, tribalism, religious animosity, sentimentality, by allowing a real awareness program. Like your department can set up an awareness program, go to the schools, educate them, do things like, there are books that they can use to educate them. The law has to be strict. So we have to be strict So in our awareness campaign, we have to let people know that you have to be very watchful. So people have to be streetwise.
Thanks to Professor Akinyele Odebumi for his contribution to that special report. And as we always say, the fight against corruption is a collective one. The anti-corruption agencies can't do it alone. Parents, teachers, and the society as a whole will have to come together to see corruption being eradicated. And that's how we've come to the end of today's episode of The Eagle. You too can be part of this program by sending your inquiries and suggestions to The Eagle at efccnigeria.org or follow us on all our social media platforms at official EFCC. You can also send your petitions to info@efccnigeria.org. For corruption to be eradicated in Nigeria, you and I must all agree that we have a part to play. We all must change. We have to change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office and public trust, unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, offices, and even our homes to have a corrupt-free Nigeria. We must change ourselves. It starts from you and I. My name is Aisha Mohammed. Goodbye and God bless Nigeria. Please do stay safe.